Well, guys, here it is. This is the Mark 44 Ammoknight from Maschinen Krieger. This is a Hasegawa model, and it's the first time I've built a 1 in 20th scale Maschinen Krieger model. In the past, I bought a 1 in 34th scale model set, which I liked a lot, and I've been an admirer of the Maschinen Krieger world for a very long time. But this was my first time buying a big boy kit, if you want to call it that, and I honestly loved the experience. I honestly super enjoyed the experience of building this, and I went and got recently I got more, and I think there's just going to be a lot more Maschinen Krieger in my future. TBH, I'm gonna get more of them babies. um Chook, I'm in big boy mode now. How's it going, Viper? How is it going, Viper? Bacon can type now. Wait, why could you not type before? Oh, were you driving? But yeah, maybe we can take apart the model here just to show you what's going on the inside, because something that's really interesting about this model is how it has a fair amount of interior details, which I absolutely loved. It's Jose! How's it going, Jose? Let's see them goods. Let me see that inside, baby. So here's the I don't even know, the power reactor, the motor, I don't know what it is. I had this idea in mind that the interior was going to be clean. The exterior was going to be all grungy and dirty, and the interior was going to be far cleaner in contrast. So that's why this looks so bright. If I were to do it again, maybe I wouldn't do it that way. But it was just, oh, okay, driving. Okay, it's just the idea that I had in mind, so I stuck with it. Urban, apply that stuff whenever. It's safe for plastic except nowadays. So we are slowly taking this thing off here. Yeah, because the way it's plugged in is like, it's a little awkward. But here's an example of the interior detail, which I think is so cool. And yeah, you can actually go to town on making this even more like detailed. You could really get into it, but I just love how all of this looks. And I was inspired by the interior of a submarine. Last year I had an opportunity to check out a submarine. It was like one from like World War II or something, right? So we got inside, and it has that kind of like, it has this kind of like bluish gray color to everything on the interior. So that's the kind of thought process that I had. There's some detailer, yeah, really nice stuff, and this hatch actually opens up. It opens up just a little bit like that, which is really cool. Looks so cool. Amazing detail. We want to try a Mac kit too. If you guys can find one, I would recommend it. Listen, I'm not sponsored or anything. If you're someone that's built Gundam for a very long time, and you feel like you've seen and done everything there is to do in the world of Gundam, a Maschinen Krieger kit could very well sort of reignite your interest. Might show you something a little different, because I found it to be a very different experience, but nonetheless enjoyable all the same. So here, one thing that I kind of really enjoy about this interior is that all of this is matte, but I made this tanker gloss, and I like that contrast. Something about that is very appealing to me. Yeah, it's a little hard to see, guys, but yeah, it's glossy, and then all of this is matte, and these smaller ones are also gloss. The chair has this leathery look, which I think is great. I have a hard time painting leather. I have a hard time painting leather and pouches and satchels and stuff, but for some reason, I love how that turned out. And I'll show you guys something else. Right there. It comes with a second pilot. Don't mind the fact that he's lacking arms. Don't mind the fact that he's lacking arms. It comes with a second pilot that you can put in. I decided to omit the pilot, though, because we're not really going to display it that way. And the arms do fit. Like, if you look at these, like, circles here, that's where the arms would kind of, like, fit, kind of like that. Kind of looks like that. The now keys. Key. Yeah. I'm a big fan of trying out different kits beyond Gundam. As I said, I enjoy Gundam kits a lot, and I very well might have a fair amount of Gundam and Gunpla kits from Bandai, but it's nice to try out different things, whether it be Kotobukiya, Wave, Hasegawa, blah blah blah, because for one thing, you'll actually appreciate Bandai. Every time I build a non-Bandai kit, and then I go back to Bandai, I'm like, oh my god, this is absolutely sublime. I love this experience. I love it, but it's just interesting, you know, to see how things are done from another company. I see, but it's kind of interesting that that it's there, and that kind of takes me back to like building cars and stuff. You know how like you might build the engine of a car or the underside of a car model, and no one's ever gonna see it up here separately and then down here separately, and so that there would actually be a gap between these two parts. But I thought I was doing a genius move by gluing these two parts together as a single unit, and then we would have less fiddly bits to deal with. But I realized in the last few days of building this, I was like, oh, it's supposed to have that gap there. I mean, maybe there's something I can do about it, but at the end of the day, we are just going to move on with our lives. And there it is. I'm, once again, big fan of Maschinen Krieger, very happy with this kit. And there will be a base. There will be a base, but we might kind of put that on hold for a bit. And whenever I do get around to it, it's probably not going to be super involved, but famous last words. But yeah, there it is.